Strickland is going to talk with us this afternoon. I'm Daigle with P&S Transportation. Dustin Strickland is going to talk with us this afternoon. Now, Dustin, you have been in several positions at McLeod Software, and you've recently made a change. Where are you?
So I am now the product manager of LoadMaster. So my role is to specifically focus on features and functions that our asset-based customers want to have in the software.
So what's maybe some of the new products you're working on?
So our upcoming release has got some pretty exciting features in it. One of them has been requested for as long as I've been here, and that's to have the ability to pay our drivers on an hourly basis. And so with this new functionality, we're going to provide our customers with the ability to not only pay the traditional ways, whether it's hourly, we'll now have hourly based options, but we'll also be able to still pay, distance based or percentage of revenue, things like that. This is going to really add a lot of versatility to the way that all of our customers are able to compensate their drivers.
Now then, the ideas for something like this, did this come from the product team, or was this specific requested from
This is actually one of those really important ideas that we get from our customer base through various feedback forums that we have, our executive advisory council, and just the letters that we get in and the emails we get in from our customers asking for new things that they're seeing.
There's a lot of ways for customers to put in a request for something that might be helpful to them, but do you get the majority of those from a users conference?
We get quite a few from the users conference, but really it never ends. We have a customer forum available to our customers who just log into the website. There's a forum link right off that, and they can submit their ideas there. They can submit an email. I think it's dreammaster@mcleodsoftware.com, and that's where several of us get those ideas. Or direct emails through their account manager or project manager, or even from our sales team. So it's kind of an endless stream of ideas that we get in.
Sure. So hourly pay, that's one of the things you're considering. Are there any other features you're looking at?
There are some additional things that we're going to look at putting in this release. One of the major ones has to deal with some planning filtering that's been requested for a little while. So now we're going to be able to have more of a driver manager type view in the planning screen. It's going to make that a little more user friendly for our customers. Also some fleet filtering, because we're seeing a lot of fleet segmentation when it comes to in the planning area. And so now our customers are going to be able to focus in on specific fleets when they're doing planning.
So how do we notify customers when one of these features does end up getting rolled out in a product?
Sure. We have a pretty good feedback mechanism. There's the traditional ways they get release notes and things like that. But if we're working specifically with a customer, we want to go ahead and get them in the loop early on and say, hey, this is something that's going to be coming out in a future release, and we'd like you to be a part of testing and making sure that we've met all the requirements.
Some of these customers that put in a request for a new feature, do they get to weigh in on some of the functionality for these new features, and do they maybe get a little bit of a preview, a little bit of adjustments made?
Absolutely. We like to work with our customers, and one of the things that puts us kind of in a unique position is we get to take a customer idea, which they think it may just need to work like this, but we have the benefit of being able to poll a number of our customers and hear all of their ideas related to that topic. And so what we think we produce is a more well-rounded solution once we actually get to market with it.
With the theme of staying on the leading edge of technology, and technology always being a theme here at our conference, it just goes to show that our system is ever evolving.
That's right. We like to stay on the forefront of things, and that's where customer feedback is so essential. At the end of the day, we're building a software product that they're going to use in their everyday lives, and there's a lot of responsibility in that. But there's also so much knowledge that we can gain just from listening to our customers and adapting to the ever-changing transportation industry.
So new features coming in to the system, a lot on the drawing board. Best way to get your ideas in through the website, contact your account manager, any of your contacts at McLeod. Get your ideas to us.
That's right, absolutely.
Thanks for spending some time with us, Dustin.
Thank you.
So Geotab's thrilled to be integrated with McLeod. And so there's really two unique things about the Geotab. So one is that you get almost real-time visibility to the hours of service and then also the vehicle location. Secondly, we take a look at messaging a little bit differently than the average telematics provider, in which you could utilize the McLeod messaging application, or you could use a third party such as Transflow's mobile application or others. So there's a lot of flexibility in the integration as far as how you want to view your messages, but we're thrilled to be integrated and get customers up and going. So Geotab is an engineering firm. We specialize in the Internet of Things related to automobile vehicles and then also commercial trucks. We have about 780,000 vehicles on the road today in over 84 countries around the world. So we really specialize in pulling data off the vehicle, such as engine diagnostics, accelerometer, GPS locations, and then also working with third-party partners to take that information and really expand on it and give it an additional meaning. So from a Geotab perspective, we're a little unique in which we actually design and manufacture our own hardware. We don't buy it from a third-party provider. In addition to that, we also do everything in-house from a software standpoint. So we do our own software, APIs, Geotab Drive application. And really what that means for the customer is our device is plug and play and it's vertically integrated. So when a customer takes one of our devices to install it, it's our device. We're able to control quality, and then also simplify the installation. So it's really a plug-and-play device. It's one device across all makes and models. So if it's in an F-150, for example, all the way up to a Class 8 vehicle, it's the same device. It is plug-and-play, so that means the antennas are internal, as well as the installation is done through the 9-pin or 6-pin on the commercial truck, or the OBD port on an automobile. Installation typically takes between 5 and 15 minutes, plug-and-play, and it just works. We try to keep it as simple as humanly possible and get the customer back on the road and going. Design and manufacture our own hardware. So from a customer standpoint, that means a couple things. First one is highest quality possible. So our failure rate is about 0.1% within the warranty period, and then 0.25% over the life of the vehicle. From an installation standpoint, it's really plug and play. There's no pre-wire kits, there's no slicing into the wiring diagrams or the wiring harnesses of the vehicle. It's simply plug and play. In addition to that, once you install the device on either your automobile or on your Class 6, 7, or 8 truck, we start pulling an enormous amount of data points. As an engineering firm, we specialize in pulling data off the engine CAN bus, so that ranges from everything from DPF parameters to fault codes. It could be odometer, urea level, cruise control, active, inactive, and a whole host of other data points depending on what type of vehicle we plug it into. So the Geotab Marketplace is a huge part of our strategy. Simply put, it's our app store. It allows our partners to be able to show to the world that they're integrated with Geotab and provide additional value to our end customers. So for example, you take a look at a piece of fault data. For the average customer, they're not going to know what that means, but we can provide that to a partner and they'll be able to add additional value to that customer on what exactly that means. And so really our app store is a continuation of what Geotab does, but only with the experts being able to take that information and utilize it to power their systems and provide additional value to their customers. As an open platform architecture, this is huge to Geotab's success and then also to our customers' success as well. 780,000 vehicles. By the end of this year, we're looking at hitting about 1 million units. So that's our short-term goals. Long-term, there's really two things. One is our open platform, and that allows us to continue to grow through partners, both at a reseller level and then partners like McLeod. And in addition to that, it's also about innovation. Geotab is an engineering firm. We have about 130 engineers. We come out with monthly releases on our software and then quarterly releases on our firmware. So we're constantly innovating and bringing additional value to our customers.
Kim Daigle with P&S Transportation comes to us today to talk about retaining drivers. She's really experienced in this because she is the Vice President of HR. How are you doing?
Good.
So let's talk about drivers, retaining the best of the best. How do you do it?
At P&S Transportation, the primary goal for us is keeping drivers engaged. And so we do that through a lot of different methods. One of them is we use a program called predictive analytics. That's one of our favorites for driver retention. And with predictive analytics, we look at the data that the drivers who have quit in the past, that shows why they might have quit, and then we use that to predict future drivers who might quit in the future. And what we do with that is we use that as a targeted training tool for our driver managers. So the driver manager receives that information, says, hey, your drivers might quit, and it might be for a family reason, or it may be for financial reasons. It gives them a few different options of reasons why, and then it kind of tells them, why don't you give them a call and have a conversation with them. Non-transactional, so not a call about the load that they're on or an accident or anything like that. Just call them up and talk to them about their day, about their family, about how they're doing. And we find that this really opens up the relationship between the driver and the driver's manager, or DM as we call it. So the driver and the DM start to have more of these sorts of non-transactional conversations. They learn about each other. And that is one of our favorite tools to use for driver retention.
Give us an example of a real life scenario of how that's actually worked for you.
We've had one driver who his wife was sick. And he didn't feel like he wanted to tell us that because he felt like it was unprofessional. He was like, I don't want my work stuff. I don't want my home life to affect my work. I don't want to bring that to work with me. But it was affecting his work. And so his wife was ill, and he was about to quit because he needed to take her to the doctor every Wednesday. And Wednesday's the middle of the week. That was never going to work. He knew that. So he's like, I'm going to have to quit. Well, we got him on the phone. Because we have this non-transactional conversation with him, he tells us, oh, yeah, my wife's sick, and this is going on, and so I think I'm going to have to quit because I need to take her to the hospital every Wednesday. Well, now that we have that information, we can work around that. Okay, well, let's figure out if there's something we can do to make this work. And we did, and saved that driver.
And I would think that you would have seen then an improvement in that turnover rate.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It has had an impact on our turnover rate, and a positive impact on our turnover rate.
Sure. How long have you been using the predictive analysis?
It has been, I think, 3 or 4 years that we've been using it.
So you have a good amount of data then that...
We do. We have very good data. We redo our models often to see, because things within business change. Different things predict differently. So we update it every 6 to 12 months just to make sure that we've got that model right.
And I would think that your driver managers have really enjoyed that type of leverage in their field.
Yes.
Dealing with these drivers.
It's been a great opportunity for them just to learn how to become really good managers. I mean, having those kind of conversations, it doesn't really matter what your job is. If you're a manager, having those kinds of open-ended conversations it's really important in the workplace.
And being proactive.
And so it's been very good program.
Kim, this was a very interesting topic, and I know that it's something that weighs heavy on a lot of managers these days, so I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you.